we've broken it into different categories. The first one, the ministers. This is what both the ministers themselves and you as a general body felt was the problem that they were facing. And the first question is, what is actually the role of a minister? Is it a spiritual leader? Is it someone to be a manager? Is it someone to run the social life of your church? All these things are different demands on the minister. Is it to be in charge of sick visiting? All these things are different aspects of the minister's role. And it's quite interesting, if you ask a church, what do you want from a minister? You get completely contradictory answers. One church that I was dealing with recently that had just moved into vacancy, we said, what do you need from a minister? And the big thing they needed was for him or her to attend the Thursday morning coffee morning, because that was their major mission outreach into the community, and they wanted the minister there to be a face of their church at that function. The second problem is one that affects both the ministers as they see it and as you as a church. We are putting too much admin onto the ministers. So many churches expect the minister to chair the finance committee, the social committee, every committee that is going. And is that a really vital use of their time and abilities? That's a question only you can answer. Now, unrealistic expectations. This, interestingly, comes not from you, maybe, but from the ministers. You, maybe, are not putting unrealistic expectations on your minister, but that's not what the ministers are feeling. They feel that you are expecting them to be almost God personified, and they feel they cannot be that, and because of that, they are getting stress, and because of that, Andrew is dealing with large numbers of ministers who are off ill because of stress. One of the first things we will obviously need to do is review all pastorates, all ministers, and see what is the mission, opportunity that you as a church, an individual church, has got to offer, and what is it that you vitally can only do with an ordained minister. Undoubtedly, we will have to work more in team. If we have to deal with larger pastorates, team ministry as such will have to come in. Mike was talking a few minutes ago about Twitter. Modern technology is a huge opportunity for us. We haven't quite got round to it yet, but what is to stop us if we've got 4 or 5 churches under a minister? For the minister to be preaching a sermon in one church and having it relayed to the other 4. It's only a thought. Another thing that was suggested, again, this is just a suggestion, not a proposal by any stretch, but if the minister was employed not so much by a church, but as by the synod, then we could look at putting a minister onto different short-term projects in different areas within the synod, where that need was really needed. We talked about teams. We will need elders getting heavily involved in this, working with ministers, lay preachers, worship leaders. They will all have to be a team working as one. And with the huge number of ministers retiring, there is going to be a huge increase in the need of pastoral lay input. We will need to find in every church more local worship leaders, not necessarily lay preachers, because I think it's the preaching scares so many people. They feel, yeah, I could get up and do a prayer, but I couldn't do a sermon. Right, then let them get up and do a prayer. Let them get up and do a children's address. Get them involved in worship. And if you get more and more people involved, in time they may feel, yes, I can take the step and start being a lay preacher as well. The challenge of, can aging congregations provide more leadership? Well, why not? Speaking as one of the aging congregation, yes, we have still got some facilities available, and we can still do our bit. Lawrence earlier in his very learned Bible study was talking about the ability of the aged to still make a massive contribution. And at times we seem to assume that because our congregation is getting on in age, it still has not got those abilities that it had before. And it has. Churches need pastoral teams, not only elders. And I think more and more churches are recognizing this. The pastoral care of their congregation is not an exclusive job for the eldership. Some elders will be brilliant at looking after people. Others are there for different talents. Some are very good at accountancy. Some are very good legally. They're not all called to be excellent pastoral people. But there are other people in the church who have got a real skill in pastoral ability, who are not elders. Why not use that as well and form a pastoral team in your congregation? Now, one of the big problems we're obviously facing is the whole question of training. The first one up there, local ministry enablers. Now, you're going to hear more about those shortly. These are the support team that we're going to propose you have. And we'll hear more about them in a second. There will have to be more training for elders. We all remember when we went on to be elders, everybody said, oh, congratulations, you're now an elder. And you're wondering, what on earth do I do? You know you're involved in communion and a few other things like that, and you have a meeting every month. What is an elder? More training needed. We will definitely need more training for lay preachers, because that is such a vital area in the future. With the ministers vanishing, who's going to fill the pulpit on the Sunday morning? It's going to have to be laity. And the last group that needs more training, local church leaders. Every so often we've had a sort of drive to get more people to take on the role of church leader. Now, many people don't understand what the role of the church leader is. And it's something we, to some extent, filed away, where we have not been driving to try and get more. We have some, Wendy Smith is just about to take on that role again at Alpington. But if that role was there, it would again ease the burden for all the churches, especially those without a ministry. Then we come to the dreaded topic of buildings. So many of us over the years have regarded our buildings as a millstone round our neck. We have spent so much time working on how to keep our building open, how to keep it in repair. And it's distracted us from mission. We've not been able to get out there looking for the future because we're so busy trying to preserve the past. And we definitely have too many buildings that are no longer fit for purpose. I'm not saying we have too many congregations, just we have too many buildings. And it's one of the real problems. Everyone, if you talk to two churches who you want to join together, will be very, very happy to do so, as long as it's our building, as long as it's our manse. I remember vividly when I was in Nottingham, when the URC was first set up, I attended St Andrew's Presbyterian, right in the centre of Nottingham, right in the heart of the Trent University campus. A modern, relatively modern building, modern halls. And in the city centre, we had Castlegate Congregational, the oldest congregational church in England, and one had to close. And by golly, it was a difficult decision. The fact that Castlegate was literally falling down probably tipped the balance. But undoubtedly, we need fewer buildings. If we're going to reach out to people in mission, we definitely will have to experiment. For conservatives like me, that is a difficult choice to make. It's something, it's not my usual worship, but I've got to accept that it is going to be something different. And that what I want isn't necessarily what the people out there want, and it's not what will draw them into worship. So we've got to be willing to experiment and to offer alternatives. And things like fresh expressions, cafe church, messy church, all these are opportunities to reach out to people who are not part of our normal worship. The day and time. Do we really need every Sunday morning at 10:30 to be our service time? It's quite interesting. I've been a bit involved with Oasis, Stuart Nixon's new baby, and they have recognised that maybe 6:30 on a Thursday evening is the right time for their church. We have, unfortunately, Sunday morning now, especially for young people, there are so many competing demands. I know my own granddaughters, they are in an elite hockey squad which trains 3 hours on a Sunday morning. They therefore get roped into that because it's the only time of the week that this elite squad meets. These are the choices that our young people are facing. These are the choices we have got to try and find a solution for. Naturally, LEPs, local ecumenical projects, is a possibility. Are there opportunities with other denominations nearby to work together, to share ministry? Again, is there another URC church within easy reach? And in nearly every case there is. I know my own local situation at Bamford, we have now joined up with Norm, a mile or so apart, but for years they wanted their own church. Now they've recognised the need to work more formidably as a united church together. We make these assumptions that aging congregations can't cope with change and responsibilities. That's not necessarily right. They can. ministers do more to help. And of course, one of the problems with that is that as we raise the retirement age for ministers to 68, they are older when they enter retirement. So the answer to that possibly is no, they maybe can't do anymore. And again, for many churches, retired ministers are not someone who's nearby anyway. There are a lot in Cumbria. There are not many in North Manchester. So it goes on. I wonder why. So, we come to the end. The big thing is we must be positive in our thinking. We are not going to get beaten by this. We are going to get round it. We are going to move forward. We are going to make the URC in the Northwest a vibrant, outward-looking, positive church. For that, we've all got to work together. We've equally got to be realistic in our future expectations. It's going to be tough. But being a Christian was always going to be tough. You've got to accept it. You've got to work with it. You've got to move forward. And one of the most important things we will find is the importance of prayer and the importance of allowing the Spirit to work in us. Thank you.